This week on the Spotlight, we talk Chicago Bulls, Dwayne Wade. Sometimes things go great, sometimes they don't. Right, Fred Hoiberg? God, he looks nervous. All the time he looks nervous. I wish we could help him with that. And then we flash back into the 90s when Michael Jordan was winning MVP awards as a Bull. And then we talk to Mark Pryor of the Cubs. What a week. This week. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, it's the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to Irish Legend. They have great food, great drink, the outdoor patio, great staff, open at 11 a.m. daily. Easy to reach. Just go down Archer, 8933 in Willow Springs. Great place, Irish Legend. You've got to get to the Sock. Live Benkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays, 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. You've got to get to Snapper Seafood and Chicken like I do at 115th and Western. Amongst their fine menu items, tilapia, perch, catfish, shrimp, conch from the Miami Connection, crab, but Philly steak and grilled food. It's great. Get the Snappers. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. We're back in the Spotlight. We're talking Bulls basketball while the crew frantically tears up the court to get ready for Blackhawk hockey as the two teams are home a ton in December, jamming up those home games after the circus road trip. And so it's time to talk Dwayne Wade. And the Pride of Robbins had that hilarious bet. If we haven't showed you this video before, we'll show it to you one more time. Dwayne Wade was promoting the Cubs in the World Series as a Chicago guy. And LeBron James, as an Ohio guy, was all Indians. And because the Cubs won, LeBron had to wear this outfit to the United Center. And it was a pretty funny situation, but LeBron paid off because the Cubs are the World Series champions. And so that was certainly a little bit of the topic in the post game, but Wade really touches all bases and answers all questions, and they're coming a mile a minute for the most ring-bearing champion on this current Bulls roster.
Against the Lakers, we was very sluggish, and there was no flow and no rhythm to that game. Tonight was, was all about, finding a way to win, and no egos involved at all, and just a total team effort, man. So just a good way to win, no matter who you playing.
That's a 78, was it? Huge number.
Yeah.
Was that the focus for you guys to try to get the ball inside?
Well, the game dictates itself sometimes. Taj came out early, and he had it going.
Dwayne Wade fielding questions after the Cleveland game.
Afterwards, now, what was the atmosphere like out there?
Well, for me, like I said, if I could play against that guy 82 games a year, I would, just, for what he brings to, me as a competitor. I just love playing against him. He brings the best out of everybody. That's what he means to our game. Everyone he plays against, he's going to bring the best out of them. So you know, it was a great game for us. It was a
And then even during the game with the whole thing with the Cubs uniform and everything.
No, it was great. You know, it's this is at the end of the day, we're here to entertain, as well. And this is our job. And we do take it serious. But moments that you can entertain, from the walk-in with the Cubs situation and the bat, even to the moments on court when you can entertain. So, we continue to do our job in that space.
How do you think he looked in that Cubs uniform?
I actually thought he looked good. He actually did look like a baseball player. Yeah.
Glad you didn't have to.
No, I would have looked terrible.
Was there any talking on the court? I mean, one time you went at him and you went down the court and you sort of patted him on the butt and then he tried to go back at you.
No, he patted me on the butt after he hit that tough fadeaway over me. So once I shot and I hit him, I searched him out.
So Dwayne Wade gets the satisfaction of seeing LeBron wear the Cub jersey and the victory over the Cavs as well.
That's big in the NBA. You're not gonna shoot the ball great all the time. You're gonna go through a point where he's gonna make a lot of shots. But when you're in the game, if you get out of yourself and do whatever it takes for the team to win, when you're not shooting the ball well, that's big. Mentally, you don't get out of it. You stay in at home. I thought we immediately got out of it, prepared for the game, and if you see how the starters came out and did a job tonight. Coach played us. Rotation was a little different. Played us, good minutes together where we can get a flow. And Taj had a big game. Jimmy, myself, Rondo, our starters really did the job for us. So that's what we didn't do against the Lakers. I thought tonight we executed better down the stretch, which we didn't do against the Lakers. So it's learning. We're learning. We're a team that at all the good teams in the league, the top teams, we ones that haven't played together. So we'll continue to learn.
Can we talk about Rondo's triple-double? Can we talk about Rondo's triple-double?
Well, in the league of today, that's become the norm. But that's what Doe does. He did that in Boston all the time. And he played a great game tonight. Just being a floor general, being everywhere. And you watch the game, you see that we've always given each other a lot of love because we all played the way that all of us want each other to play. And when it's that way, it feels good.
You and Rondo could bring the championship games, you both have championship teams that when you have games that other guys have to send, is that something that you two can bring to the team?
Well, yeah. I mean, we played in the biggest games there is. And, we have to lead the way in that for our team. We got a lot of young guys that really play on these teams. And they look for us, as leaders, and we have to do a job. And tonight we did that job with Rondo and myself. And it makes it easier on everybody when they get to see, guys. We've won championships, we've been there before, but come out with that kind of intensity, that kind of focus. And their time comes. Tomorrow I'm not playing, so next guy up, and their time comes where they have to step up and do their job. So I'm looking forward to it.
What do you think LeBron's going to do with that jersey?
We're going to auction it off.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Ferland, DDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work. Impeccable. Call the Family Dentist. 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. We're back on the spotlight. We're talking Bulls basketball. And Coach Fred Hoiberg, who I thought early in the season looked a little tense, a little nervous, seems frankly calmer. I think the road trip did a lot for him. The fact that the Bulls won 4 out of 6 games was a beautiful thing. And certainly the Bulls play against the Cavaliers had to put him in a super mood. And so after that game, he's answering a ton of questions about their play and what he looked for going in. And it's a kind of a kooky end to this thing, too, when a reporter starts blacking everybody's video shot.
Wade said yesterday wanted to see how the team responded after the trip and the loss. But what did you see from the team in this kind of game?
I was really proud of the guys, how they came out. And, those guys were on a mission over there. They came out with some fire, and they were flying up the floor. And I thought we did a good job of staying in the game and withstanding that run and getting a little bit of momentum going into that second quarter, finishing off only down 3 in that first quarter, again, with as fast as they were coming out of the gate there. A couple things that really stand out to me is the rebounding. After getting pounded on the boards against L.A., we got rebounded by 16, and the other thing was the foul line. You give the Lakers 41 free throws. We limit them to 10 tonight, and 2 of those were intentional fouls when they had breakaways, which were great fouls by Rajon. Really good individual performances, like you said. Obviously, the guys with the numbers, with Rajon's triple-double, Wade, Jimmy, Taj was a beast all game long. The one guy that I pointed out after the game was Nico. After not making shots, it's been frustrating for him, with not being able to do what he's done well his whole life, make shots, but I thought he made huge defensive plays for us down the stretch, winning basketball plays, and certainly helped us win that game.
Probably coming in, the Cavs don't protect the rim as well. But did you expect going into Taj early and often, sort of just to keep you in the game, or did that just evolve that way?
We did talk about it. That was something we wanted to get Robin and Taj established early. They switched their 4 and 5 matchup. They had love on Robin. I thought Taj just the aggressiveness that he was showing out there, and our guys' willingness and ability to find them, especially early in the possession before the defense got set. And allow those guys to go to work with space. We talked a lot about spacing. I didn't think we spaced the floor well against the Lakers. It was much better tonight. Our cuts were better, and that's the reason we scored so well in the paint tonight.
So important to keep up the pace. They were on a 3 and 4 or whatever, and the way they came out with that energy, you felt sometime later in the game that you could take advantage of that.
Well, that rondo was great all night long, and getting the guys out and getting them running, pushing. You can even hear them. You can hear them yell and run with me. To get the guys down the floor. And again, we just never really got into a flow or a rhythm the other night. A lot of it was the fact that they shot 41 free throws. We were just taking the ball out of the net the entire time. But Rajon was a huge factor. Wade and Jimmy were getting out and running the wings very well, and obviously our bigs were doing a good job with that first rim runner, getting down and sealing with good post position.
When he's playing, I know he has tomorrow off and everything. When he's playing like that and being aggressive, can he take some of the pressure off of the younger teammates, some of the guys who aren't playing as well, and they can just sort of ride the wave with him?
Yeah, it's always an intimidating game when you go up against a team like that. The defending champs. You got two guys in Kyrie and LeBron. That I'm sure these guys have looked up to. Some of these young guys. Kevin Love's just on a tear right now shooting the basketball. So, for Wade, he came and said to me, "Hey, Coach, I'm not playing tomorrow. I can give you a few more minutes." So, we rode him there, and he did a good job helping us finish that game.
They play that small ball, fast-paced style. Does it give you any confidence that you guys matched that fairly well tonight?
Yeah, obviously have to be able to play different styles. This was a game that we had to have a small lineup, which we prepared for. In that first half, we had Jimmy playing some 4 when they had LeBron at the 4. And then the second half where they had the 2 spacing bigs. With Fry and with Love, we felt the better matchup was to have Nico and Taj out there, but it gives you some confidence that you can play different styles, and again, I thought our guys responded great. It's tough to bounce back from that long trip that we had, put a disappointing loss behind you. Our guys' focus in practice was great yesterday, and a good solid focus shoot around today, and carried that over to the game.
What you can get from Wade and Rondo, who've played in these kind of big games, you can see both of them were really up and into this kind of game.
Yeah, for sure. Those guys. Sean, what are you doing? those guys have both been in huge situations. Those guys are out there having fun tonight. That's the other thing that I liked is, those guys had a smile on their face, and it was fun. It was a fun game, for our guys. I think it was an enjoyable game for the fans as well. Thanks, guys.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. You've got to get to the Sock Live Minkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great game, great people. Check out the Sock. I think you'll be glad you did when you go to my trivia game every other Thursday. 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, Parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's.
We're back in the spotlight, and before we get to Game 2 of the Bulls playoff series against Detroit, let's take you to an event that took place on Monday when Michael Jordan was named the MVP of the NBA, and he had some very interesting remarks, but he kind of balked when he was asked the question about winning the award this year because he was making his teammates better.
Well, I don't agree with making my teammates better. I don't hold a gun to their head and tell them to play better. I think you got to want to be better. You got all the different opportunities to step up and get your own respect. It's been many years said that Michael Jordan doesn't make his teammates better. Well, I never considered myself a babysitter where I had to make everybody better. You got to have that desire to go out and achieve, especially when you're being given an opportunity to earn your respect. And that's what Detroit's done to us many times when they try to say it's a Jordan rule, saying that no other player on this team can hurt them. This is where you have to dig within yourself and certainly try to step up and earn your respect.
But certainly the most compelling part of the interview is when Jordan talked about in 10th grade when he didn't make his high school basketball team. Remember that, Michael?
I remember it. I remember the whole scenario of getting up, rushing to school, hoping to see your name on the window as they did it back in those days. Write your name on the glass, and everybody get to see who's on the team. And if you are a cocky little 10th grader who's trying to make the varsity, and you feel very confident, as you should always feel very confident, and you don't see your name, it ruins your day. You don't want to go to class. All you want to do is cry. You want to look for support somewhere, and somehow I found it in my family. So it was a very tough day for me, but I've had good days since then.
And in the second half of Game 2, Michael took over with the jump shots. As a matter of fact, Michael exploded for 27 points in the second half. Now, he's fouled here, but he went on to make 13 free throws in the fourth quarter, a new Bulls record, just gunning and gunning and gunning. A giant pain for the Pistons on Tuesday night. And fans came from Kentucky to watch it, and they enjoyed it too.
So the Bulls go 2-0 and retain the home court advantage with an impressive win. Defense, the motivator once once again. In the first half, when Michael Jordan was revving up, key performances by Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen were the mainstays on offense. The bench came through strong again. And then Michael Jordan rubbed it up for 27 of his 35 points in the second half. It's on to Detroit with the Bulls ahead, 2-0, and they will be happy.
There was so much talk about this game being rougher. Now, we saw a few little altercations, but tell us what it was like in the pits.
It was rough. It was definitely physical, and they got away with some cheap shots, and it was just physical play. We expected it, and they gave it to us.
Who seems to be the worst defender on the cheap shots?
The whole team. You can't point one guy out. They all are rough.
And what does that bode for games 3 and 4?
More physical play, and I think that we're going to give them some of the medicine back.
I feel like that was going to dictate how the game is going to be for us to be able to get inside and also be able to get stuff opened up for guys to be able to spot up and get shots.
Scotty, once again, there was all that talk going on, and I saw you spewing out a few words at Rodman and others. Give us a little insight on what that was all about.
Well, basically, they're a team now that's down. They've probably never been in this position before, but we expect them to come back and fight. This is a game where they felt bad and they felt like they was going to get this game, and it was a lot of mouthing out there. We just tried to play through it and let our basketball and our talk back up.
And what Horace Grant was talking about, watch the elbow to Will Perdue's neck. That's why he goes after Dennis Rodman here, and Bill Laimbeer has no business getting involved. He ought to get punched in his plastic shield. There'll be more action coming up from Motown, and we'll have it for you.
You've got to get to Jack's. 3325 Ridge Road in Lansing. Trivia every Tuesday at 7 p.m. A very intense competitive game. Any of half a dozen teams can win. My game show at Oliver's gets better and better. At 6100 West 159th Street in Oak Forest. Live trivia alternate Thursdays at 7 p.m. Have great food, great drink, and great trivia at Oliver's. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. Trivia will be at the Sock. Alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great food, great drink, great people. Everything great. You've got to get to Del Sur Mexican Restaurant, open for lunch and dinner daily. Shrimp, tilapia, salmon, steak, chicken dishes, you name it. It's all there at 46th and Halsted. Great stuff at Del Sur Mexican Restaurant. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. We're back at the Friendly Confines, and we're talking to a man who has been besieged by the media and probably a little burnt out from all the interviews he's had to do since he's been here. But I must say this, in terms of a guy who looked Major League ready long before he got up, maybe not since Kerry Wood has anybody looked so ready for the major leagues, and Kerry used to be interviewed a zillion times too. Have you kind of gotten used to that, or do you try to pick your spots with how much media you can handle on a given day?
Well, I've kind of gotten used to it. The only thing that ever bothers me, or not so much bothers me, but it's just as long as they let me get my work done, and so that's just kind of the main thing. As soon as I feel like it's kind of getting away from what I got to get done on a certain day, that's the only time I get, say, frustrated with it. But for the most part, I'm willing to give them, and whenever they need them.
It sounds like you're a guy who likes to do his regimen, and I imagine that would be most true on the days you start. Can you take us through a little bit about what you do in preparation for a starting assignment?
Usually, I get here in normal time with everybody else. We start batting practice. I take my first round of batting practice, and then I go in the clubhouse times, usually grab something to eat, and then about an hour before, say, first pitch, I started riding the bike or running a little bit and stretching out and getting loose. And then about 20 minutes before game time, I come out and start warming up and then get on the mound for a bullpen and get ready to go.
Is it getting a feel for each of your favorite pitches, or is there a set count of pitches you throw in the pen?
It's usually just getting a feel for my pitches. As soon as I feel like I got command of my fastball, I go on to my curveball. As soon as I feel like I got a feel of my curveball, I go to my changeup. Usually I try to limit to maybe no more than 30, 35, but I feel like once I got everything, I'm ready to go.
Have you dabbled at all with a fourth pitch just to show a batter something and get inside his head?
No, I haven't dabbled in anything. I feel like my stuff right now is sufficient to get people out. Just fastball, curveball, and changeup, and you throw your fastball in and out. It almost acts as two pitches.
Can you tell the folks at home who you were a fan of growing up, whether it be individual team or individual players?
Well, yeah, obviously I grew up watching a lot of the pitchers, Clemens and Ryan, Randy Johnson, Schilling, mostly watching them obviously because I am a pitcher. But I also grew up watching, Sammy and Bonds and a lot of those guys, so it's just a treat to come out here and play against them.
How about talking to Sammy when you first came up? He's the kind of guy that seems he might take you aside and say, don't try to do too much, just be yourself.
Oh, no, definitely is. He's a guy that really cares about his teammates. He's almost like a big brother, when he's on the field. He'll hit home runs, so make sure he's trying to do whatever he can to take care of, the pitchers and try to get them some wins. And just the respect of how much he cares for us and goes out and he works hard every day is just, gains respect to his players and makes us work harder.
What are your goals for 2002? Is it knocking out some more complete games? Is it a win total? What are you trying to achieve?
I'm not trying. It has nothing to really do with stats. I just want to go out there and compete and give it all every time I go out. And I feel like if I can do that, that'll be a successful year for me. One that I'll be able to build on for years to come.
Thank you, Mark Prior. Well, we got about a minute left in the show, so we're going to show you a little clip from some trivia we did a few years back. See if you know any of the answers. Sports 88. His 81 runs batted in led the White Sox in 88. Name this White Sox player. 5 seconds to play, pass, throw the ball, or hangman. Going. Harold Baines is right. So the Stooges are off to a very nice start. 160. Where would you like to play? Soulful Tunes. Free, but lose your turn. So it brings you to 2:30. You'll get a little break. We'll see you in a couple minutes. The Moravian Marauders are up. Chicago and the world. It's 1800 West in Chicago. Name the street. The answer is Wood Street. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. You've been watching the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Perfect Pitch located at 108th and Kedzie. Take your vehicles there for great repairs. This week's show has been brought to you by the Lansing Floral Shop. Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing, 708-396-1010.